Oh boy. That is a whole lot of glitter. Look at that. What's going on, guys? This is Nathan Engelhardt at Backyard Auto. Behind me we have a 2018 Chevy Suburban with a transmission fluid pump lining issue. This is equipped with a 5.3 liter V8 with the 6L80 transmission. This is going to be part one of removing the transmission assembly. Part two will require taking apart the transmission and rebuilding it, and then part three will be putting it all back together. Make sure you like and subscribe to keep it part of the series if you're here a little bit early and the next parts have not come out yet. But as soon as I get my hands on those videos and those clips, I'll post them as soon as I can to help you guys out. So let's waste no further time and tear this thing apart. So the very first thing that you got to do before starting tearing apart your transmission or even raising it up is disconnecting the battery so that when we take out the starter, we don't have to drop the vehicle down again and disconnect the battery so that we don't shock ourselves. So as soon as you pull the vehicle in, disconnect the battery, and then you can go ahead and raise it on up. So now that we're in the air, we're gonna take our 11mm wrench and leave the vehicle in park still so you can break all these loose, and then we'll go up to the transmission and shift it into neutral so we can actually spin the drive shaft to get these drive shaft hold down bolts or whatever. We got the one side out. Go ahead and put that on the lift arm. And now we're gonna break loose our top one so we don't have to shift it into park a second time. We can see our transmission, and right up here is our shift linkage. And that nut is gonna be a 15mm, so get your 15mm wrench and go ahead and break that loose and drop the wrench on your face. That's very important. We just shifted it. We might have shifted into neutral on accident as we were breaking it loose, but. So what you want to do is grab your 10mm wrench and go up to your shifter and shift it over 2 clicks. Right there should be neutral. Let me see. Okay, that wasn't neutral. I think I need to go one more click. Let's try that. So the way that you can tell that you shift it into neutral is you should be able to now spin it by hand. If you're for some reason doing this on the ground and starting off with the drive shaft, please have blocks on your wheels or have your e-brake on in your car, because I can't tell you how many videos I've seen where people take this drive shaft out and park with no blocks on it, and then they take this out and they get turned into a human pancake because they get ran over by their own truck. There is that. There. Okay. I'll put those right where I put the other sets. There we go. Now you got this side down, just pull straight out. And let's set this drive shaft to the side. The next thing that we're going to do is we have to drop down this white pipe to get out of the way of our transmission when we remove it. We're going to cut off this clamp. These clamps always rot, so it's just best to cut a slit and then use a chisel and a hammer and just pop this open. You'll have to get a replacement for that and the gaskets. So let's go ahead and get our cutoff wheel and cut a slit in that so we can remove the white pipe. There we go, that's what you want. It broke open. There's a little piece of metal that's in there that keeps this from falling out. There we go. Ta-da! And here's your bad exhaust flange. These are a little bit of a pain to get out, but once it's out, it's out. Next up, we're going to drop down our white pipe. What you got to do for these ones is this white tab is going to be your safety release. So you're going to pull that back using a flat blade screwdriver. And then what I do is I take a little pocket screwdriver and go underneath. Well, I am so sorry for hitting you. I go underneath the connector and then I pull out the sensor just like that. There. Alright, I got it out. I'm gonna go ahead and take off our exhaust wipe pipe. What I have here is like a 10-inch extension from 1/2 inch to 3/8, and I have a 3/8 swivel and then a 15mm deep well. And you want to take your time when you're taking these off. You might need heat in order to break off the rust in the threads. I'm just gonna hope that I could go easy and break them loose. I stand corrected, it's out. Oh. Hi, nut. In order to remove this white pipe, we got to take off this cross member. This is also part of the trans mount and the transfer case mount, so we got to go ahead and get a tree stand and support the back of this transfer case so we can take off our cross member, so we can take down our white pipe and drop our pan to get all the fluid out of it. And see if we can find anything, because this pump is whining. So I just took some measurements, and it turns out that this tree stand is a little bit too big. So well, isn't that just perfect? So now that we got our brand new jack stand from the parts store, now I got to take off our cross member. We're going to need a 21mm impact socket and a 21mm socket with a wrench or ratchet, and we're going to zip off all 4 of these nuts and bolts and take down this cross member and drop our white pipe. So let's get to that. We're going to go ahead and remove our 2 15mm bolts that holds our transmission. There we go. Almost forgot our upstream O2 sensors. One connector is right up here. I need to get this one off too, which it's all fine. I mean, I just didn't catch it right away. There we go. I just took some nose pliers and pulled up on this O2 sensor and got it out of its tree tab. That one had some dirt in it. There we go. Now for real this time, we could drop the exhaust. So those are the tricky parts. Haha, what's up, bro? I'm him. Now it's time to drop our transmission pan and drain out all the fluid, and we'll see what's inside of here. We have a trans pump whining like no other in there, so we'll see what we got going on in there. So let's go ahead and take that off. There we go. Ooh, transmission fluid. There we go. That's pretty smooth. You could see in the transmission fluid, you could see shavings. That's for sure. Oh, goodness. Wow. Oh, man. That was all floating around in the transmission. So this is exactly why we chose to completely overhaul this transmission, is because all this metal is because it's in here, it's been through the valve body, it's been through the filter. The filter's probably all plugged up. This transmission has been completely exposed to these metal shavings, so that's why we're going to just completely overhaul it and rebuild it. I think we're going to go ahead and take off the shield on the side here, just so I can get on it with my jack. Yep. And we also got to get our dipstick too out of here. Alright, so we're now supported on this trans jack, so I can move the tree stand out and get our transmission mount out of here and drop our transfer case. On connector. You want to lower the jack or the tree. Access the upper. Oh, hi, bud. Don't hit my head. I'm going to give you a better angle of what I've taken off so far. I've taken off this connector here, which is just your regular safety clip, and you push on that black button and pull it out. That went here. And then we have this connector that went yander. And then we had this little connector right here that went here. And this is just that you pull back on that black tongue tab and you pull out. Now I have to get the wiring harness holder. That's right there. And then there's a breather on these that I have to pull off as well. And then I believe that's it. So let me do that and get back to you on this. Oh my gosh. I really hope you guys could see that. Like the light just keep on falling. That's so funny. Notice how I'm laughing. I see my breather tubes right here. There's some breather tubes that are going to my transfer case. So we're going to go ahead and remove those next. And then I gotta get my front drive shaft off. That one's off. Ta-da! Move more, please. Move more. Oh shoot. Spinny spin. Beautiful. Oh, this side's looser. That is out. I don't remember those have a metal clip or not. We're gonna find out. Oh yeah, that is all. It holds that on. That makes it so much easier for me. Alright. So to get that drive shaft off, all you have to do is get that sleeve over this lip on here. And then once you get that sleeve off with that metal ring, the whole shaft just pulls right out. Just putting it back on, I would just recommend cutting that ring off that hooks onto that, and then just put a zip tie around it. Or if you have another one of those clamps, then go ahead and put that on. But that's gonna make it a lot easier for me to haul that down without worrying about that shaft flopping around. So let's go ahead and start taking off the bolts to hold this on here. So I'm gonna use a 15 ratcheting wrench to get all these bolts off. These are very nice for getting into these low profile areas without having to just go on back and forth without being able to ratchet. This is super nice. These are just Pittsburgh ones. I recommend the Icon ones. Those ones are nice. Or gear wrench. Gear wrench makes good ratcheting wrenches too. There's the bolt side that goes to the transmission. I want to pull off the nuts off the transfer case, and then I'm going to pull the transfer case down with the studs. Once you break them loose, they're hand tight. So. There's 4. So what I'm going to try to do with this last one with the way top is I'm going to have it on the loose end, and I'm going to have it like this on the bolt. I'm going to try to hit it with the hammer and try to break it loose at least. That top one's really tight, and it's like I'm hitting the transmission tunnels, so I can't really get a good I can't get leverage on it. Oh, I think it works. Yeah, there's 6. So it's just stuck on there a little bit, that's fine. Start it. I don't want to actually hit on the case because I could hurt the case. Right, guys? Right? We don't want to hurt the case. All prime in between it. Just trying to break it up. So I'm going to jack it up so I have more room to get my case out. I'm going to move you guys back so you're not in my way. So with these, oh, my ratcheting wrench is right there. So with these, you want to pull out, go up, the nose up, and then slide down in order to get it out. You can't just go straight out because you'll hit on this bar, which is not removable. So now that we have our transfer case out, it's chilling over there by the tire machine. We are good to go ahead and take out our starter, and then we're gonna go ahead and take out all of our flywheel bolts so that we could go ahead and start taking out this transmission. So let's go ahead and take that starter out of here. Yeah. We need a 10mm ratcheting wrench to get that starter cover out. There we go. Now we have 2 13mm bolts that go straight up into the block. So I'm gonna go and take those out. I'm gonna use my 1/2 inch of 3/8 reduction to a 3/8 swivel and then a 13. These are very low torque once again, so I'm going to use a chrome socket. So to get these starters out, you want to raise the back of the starter as high as you can and then dive them down kind of. So raise the rear end all the way up and then dive that nose to the side. Keep that. It's gonna be the 13mm nut that goes onto the wire on the side of the starter. Holy moly. Mine was tight. Was yours guys tight too? That was kind of stupid. There, I got it. Jeez. Okay, I got this out in 12 seconds. That was so easy, guys. So, guys, this is really easy to do. So now that we have our starter out, we're going to go ahead and take off this belly pan on the front of the Suburban so that we could access our flywheel bolts. 4 bolts on the bottom, 15 millimeter. And you have 2 15s up top. And my Luke Tech assistant, Dad, is gonna help me get it in. Okay. Nice. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna find your harmonic balancer and rotate your crankshaft, and now rotate your flywheel so you can get to all your torque converter bolts. So as I'm rotating this, you'll be taking out all our bolts. And what size are those? 13s?
The flywheel bolts are 15.
Flywheel bolts are 15 millimeters. So we're gonna go ahead and take those out. So I got 24 millimeter socket with like a 3-inch extension in my ratchet to rotate the crankshaft engine backwards, because you could jump time on certain engines.
And a nice piece for doing transmission jobs is this great big extension here.
1/2 inch, 3/8 at the end.
Yeah, it's 1/2 inch on the gun side and then 3/8 on the socket.
Everyone start rotating until you see it.
All right.
You see one? Got done taking out all 3 of our flywheel bolts. Now we're gonna go ahead and start taking out all the bolts on our bell housing.
Yeah, the nuts that are holding like brackets are going to be 13, and then the actual bell housing bolts are 15.
15s, and then all the nuts are 13s. Okay, time to get set up on this.
Welcome back, everybody.
No, I lost a little bit of recording, but it's fine.
We've been here all day.
No.
We're moving right along.
Where's the 10 millimeter? Since there's a 10 millimeter bolt, so we get rid of this plastic cover. Because we don't need it. On the passenger side, there's a wiring harness that's being held by a 10 millimeter bolt. I'm gonna go and take that out. Check out this shot. So you're working on the top of the bell housing bolts.
Yeah, I need to get it under. Actually, we need to take this 10 millimeter out over here. Right here.
There's another bracket.
Yeah, it's holding that harness down.
We have another bracket right here. We're gonna take off because that can't come down with the transmission. That holds our fuel lines and our evap line, I believe, right? Is that what that plastic line is? Probably goes to our purge valve. I would assume.
Yes.
Yes, guys, that's what that literally is. I got you struggling on video in 4K.
Well, that's great. That harness has little clips on it that hold it tight to the fuel lines, and you can relieve some of that tension by pulling the clip. It might help. It's just a nut that's on the stud. It's not. Go ahead.
That's nope, that was the nut that we just took off, guys. It just went in his hoodie.
It's on my neck. It's gonna eat me. This should pull off there and up. And we'll grab the 15. This is our thermal bypass attached to our training lines. Our thermal bypass acts just like a thermostat. And when the fluid inside the transmission gets up to a certain temp, this opens up, allows fluid to come out through the lines into the transmission cooler built into the radiator. and there's an auxiliary cooler in the front of the radiator.
Whoa.
We'll have to take that. These dowels right here stick terribly, but I'll leave a bolt in it just in case. The dipstick tube runs over the stud portion of the bolt, so you just lift up on it. Now you can get at the. Do we have
Oh, there you go. Look at that. That's it. Right there. That's a good shot.
So you just kind of get inside it and try to work it out.
There it is.
Here's our 13mm nut. Are you nuts? As a matter of fact, I am. Okay, go ahead and buzz that. Alright, we got it. So, this bracket here, it has your vent tube on it and your wiring harness on it. You just kind of pull it off the stud.
Shoot them away. Got it. Oh, it fell in my pan. Dang. That's going to be the angle for the rest of this drop. Because these transmissions are known for getting stuck on the dowel pins, we're using an air hammer. Are you hammering right on the dowel pin?
Yes, we're going to push the dowel pin towards the engine. Just a little bit.
Wow. Make sure you wear ear protection, guys. That hurts.
If you would have caught it from this side, you would have seen the gap.
Oh, dang it. I'm the worst recorder ever.
You can try it over here.
Life hack.
Now, work our pry bar, which, oh, I did got that real big one up here. Hey, one side now. Okay. There we go. That's it. So now since we're both here, we'll just kind of
Guide it.
yeah.
And as you're going down, you want to make sure that nothing's sticking to the transmission or trying to go with it. You don't want to break any harnesses or put your transmission out of bounds and potentially fall.
Take so this right here, I usually use like an 8mm socket, I think. But just to pop that up through.
Yeah. We just found a vent hose that's attached to the transmission. It's on the right side by the output shaft.
I usually just take an 8mm socket.
Ow. Okay. This hose was still connected. We did not know. But we used an 8mm, put it up against the spider or the finger side of the clip and punched it up and it came right out. We have a hose.
That's connected.
No, it's connected to this. We're connected to our.
Oh yeah, it's our vent.
You want to pull it out?
Yeah. All right.
There's a breather hose on the transmission out by the bell housing area. Just keep an eye out as you're going down.
How are we over here? Good.
We have a, hold on, we have a shift linkage right here.
Oh
So your torches.
Cable?
Yeah. Do you take out the torches? Or what do you do for that?
Either or. We'll go ahead and take the clip.
Cool.
Good.
Shifter cable has to come out.
Alright.
Hey, is this transmission out?
Alright. Tomorrow we'll put it in the fixture and start teardown.
Alright guys, this wraps up part 1 of removing the transmission out of our 2018 Chevy Suburban. Expect that the video of disassembling this transmission comes out the week after this video comes out. We want to separate the disassemble and assemble videos to ensure that we're not speeding through anything in the editing, because I want to make this a short video but also extremely detailed so that literally if you watch this video you'll know how to do it yourself as well. So we are going to make these, this might be a 4-part series or even 5-part series, we'll see as we go. So if you learn anything, make sure that you like and subscribe to see more content like this. It's been a little bit since I've uploaded. I've just been dealing with some college stuff and just been really busy, but I feel motivated again, making content, and I enjoy it. So thank you guys for the support that you have showed me so far. I really appreciate it. Out of the 2 videos I made a couple months back. And yeah, hope you guys have a good one. See you later.